Morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are just tuning in, this is day 2 of our modern hunter course. It's been phenomenal. Before I get into the details, I would love your support by subscribing and turning on the notifications bell or sharing this video if you find it beneficial. So right now I'm in Evanston, Wyoming. We've been doing the modern hunter course. Technically this is day 3, but to recap yesterday, day 2, we learned how to shoot on the prone. Obviously we did that the day before in terms of zeroing out our rifles, but yesterday we did a little bit more in terms of working on our rifle in that prone position, shooting off our bag or our pack, then going to a kneeling or a sitting position, and then shooting our rifle off the pack. And it was definitely a little more challenging because depending on the size of your pack, the weight of your pack, you had a lot more movement. You weren't as stable as if you were just shooting off the prone position and nothing underneath your rifle. So that was a really good challenge. If you're looking to put in application to like a real world scenario, I think this was definitely something that was, out of everything we've done so far, we still have full day 3. It was very applicable just because when you're going to be hunting, you're not going to necessarily have the ideal shot. You're not going to have a clear shot from where you're at, depending on what game you're looking for. Again, this is just from my experience from yesterday, but it was really good. It was challenging and frustrating because you always want to hit the target. You always want to make sure that you are hitting the steel or hitting the paper target, whatever you have. So yesterday was definitely a challenge in terms of patience and understanding you might have to adapt. And the one thing that the instructors yesterday talked about was like, if you're not 100% sure in your shot, don't take that shot, because depending on the distance of how far away you are from your target, if you scare them, that is the only shot that you have. You don't have another attempt, especially if they run away. If you do injure your game, whether it's antelope, elk, whatever you're going for, and you do draw blood, they were saying that kind of like an unwritten rule that is your animal, that is your game, so you need to make sure you close the deal in a sense. So that was really interesting, obviously, because you need to make sure that you finish it, make that shot 100%. So we worked off of that pack from a sitting, kneeling position, and then we moved on to a standing position. This was off of a tripod. We also worked the kneeling, sitting position off of a tripod. A few of the pointers that I found that was very helpful was make sure you have bone on bone. So that first one is bone on bone, meaning if your elbow is touching your knee, make sure it is in the bone portion where you're able to kind of put resistance or push into the elbow push into the knee, versus being on muscle or soft tissue. Any movement whatsoever is going to make that you unstable, but also make that rifle unstable. So that was a huge pointer and takeaway that I took away from that, especially in the sitting or kneeling position. You always want to have some sort of contact, elbow to elbow or elbow to knee, elbow to ground. Make sure that you have a comfortable position in a sitting position. Once we got to standing, that was a little more difficult because there was more movement. You obviously have the ability to tighten the stand. Once you get your rifle set on your target, then you would adjust the knobs to make sure it's as secure as possible. The other takeaway that I found from the standing position was making sure that wherever you're at position-wise, if I'm leaning into that stand, you also want to think of pushing to the rifle, but then pulling back. So something I found that I challenged myself with yesterday was I kept pushing forward. Problem with that is if you push forward, all the weight's going forward. Obviously, you're trying to make sure you're managing your recoil in terms of once you're taking that shot. But at the same time, if I'm pushing everything forward, most likely that weight's going to forward. If my stand isn't set up properly, you want to make sure that you adjust that. Third takeaway, focus on top 3 because I know it's a lot of information. Third takeaway I found is when you're sitting or you're in a kneeling position, you want to have two prongs of the stand facing forward and one towards you. When you're standing, you want to flip that. So for example, if I'm here in the standing position, I would want to have that stand mirror my stance, or my stance mirror that stand. So 2 prongs, or 2, I don't know what to call them, sticks of the stand facing you, right? When you're standing, and then when you're sitting, you want to have 2 of them face away. That was, again, third takeaway that I found from this. So we did wrap up yesterday, day 2, talking about gear in terms of what you want to pack. Your pack, we had a company and sponsor vendor come in, and they discussed about pack, what you're looking for height-wise, weight-wise, and then also what kind of gear you need, minimizing your additional items, but also having some sort of emergency kits, cleaning kit for your game, depending on how long your hike you're doing, clothes, whether it's a mid-fall or late fall, early winter hunt in terms of layers, warmth. Obviously right now it's warm, it's sunny, it's a little chilly though. I'm a little cold, but we had those individuals come in yesterday and talk about that, so that was really cool. Today will be day 3. We'll be wrapping up the course, talking a little bit more after breakfast, and then getting into some more shooting. We will be changing position. Yesterday we shot off of kind of a little slope shooting down to our targets. It was super windy yesterday, so it was very difficult. That wind was challenging. We had to learn how to obviously spot, but then also give cues to the person that's shooting. It's like, hey, do you need to shoot one plate to the left or half a plate to the left, or you're shooting too low, you need to move up a full plate or half a plate up. So that was really a cool learning experience because I just have a lot of information in my brain and I'm trying to segment and share with you guys. But if you guys have any specific questions or you want to know more about this course, feel free to send me a comment below or let me know specifically what you want to see more of. Again, I'll be wrapping up a third day for tomorrow. Day 3 will be that. And obviously we're gonna get done with today. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's gone by so fast. Everyone's been super awesome. The instructors have been increasing. Sega's put on an incredible course. R&K and the ranch here has been incredible. They've been super, super awesome. If you guys are interested in a hunt, definitely check it out. Someone just put up a comment. Thank you for the details, Michael. Appreciate that. Yes, it is beautiful. This is Wyoming. We were actually up on the ridge shooting kind of down way back there. So that was really cool to kind of change up the scenery and do a different kind of field of play or range that we had. So again, any questions, feel free to leave a comment below if you found it beneficial. Love for the support, and anything you guys have questions of, let me know. I will see you guys soon, and I appreciate the support. Take care and have a fabulous Thursday.